it's a slow, draggy day for Facebook today. Welcome to the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. I'm Big Daddy Gonzo, and seated across from me, excuse me while I mute this feed so I know that the sound is actually working. Seated across from me, matriculating on your screen from left to right. Is that your left or my right?
It's my center.
It's Matt the Masaracchio.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show.
I love enunciating your last name because it's got more than three syllables.
Guy at the gate called me Irish. He's like, nice Irish name.
You look Irish.
I said, thanks, Mick. See ya.
Funny, he doesn't look Jewish.
Yeah.
So, you just came, off the plane.
Literally.
Yeah, it just came, right here from almost the airport.
We were in NC for the weekend, hanging out with Hayden the maiden, the grandson, and chilling.
And discovering ChatGPT.
And found myself into a world of scare for me. Technology.
We're just going to flip the whole podcast over. Welcome to middle-aged guys discovering artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I've got. Listen, I don't know how far I'm going to be able to take this. Obviously, you guys are probably more aware of this whole ChatGPT thing than I am, but I'm getting there. Learning and trying to find different ways to use the technology to make us smarter.
You know, of course, we're already 3 steps behind the latest millennial or the latest Zoomer that's already all over it. I mean, you look at Nick, the guy we work with over at the club. Nick is all over it. Who did you call about this?
Nick.
You call Nick. So yeah, we're old, but we learn.
Yeah, lean on the young people too.
We know the young folks. They can cue us and clue us in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say this as far as while we're on the topic, for those of you out there who are maybe stagnant in your careers or looking for something else or with the next thing or looking to keep up in your industry, stop what you're doing. I mean, stop it right now and get your ass waist deep into artificial intelligence. I don't care if you start with just ChatGPT on your phone like I did, break into Facebook with the AI images like I did, because it teaches you prompts, because the prompts are going to be the difference maker for everybody. Okay, so stop what you're doing. Oh, I don't have to. Okay, you know what? This is the first and last time I'm going to tell you, because I'm telling you right now, you're going to fall behind. You're going to fall behind, you're going to be behind, and if you plan on living 20 more years like my old ass does, I'm not going to be behind. Okay, I'm just not. I'm not a guy who's thinking about retiring. I'm not a guy who's into retirement. I wouldn't, honestly, if I became idle rich, I would start businesses. Why? Because I have to have something to do. After my coffee is done, and after I'm done watching the news, and after I'm done reading my emails, I got to do something. Okay, I don't go to the gym 6 days a week, 7 days a week. I got to do something. So do it, people. Get into your AI. I don't care about, I don't need it, but you don't need it? Okay, you don't need it. So what we're all about, and almost no AI was used in the compilation of the information today because we're a bunch of fantasy football junkies. It is the actual lead in, tis the season. Yeah, it's fantasy football time.
Hall of Fame game is 10 days away.
Is it 10 now?
Yeah, 9 or 10 days away.
What is it? Oh, excuse me. It's on the 31st.
So
11 days away.
I think it's the 20-something, I think. 29th, I think I see. Let me check.
Is it?
Hall of Fame game.
Find it. See, look, he's using AI.
July 31st.
I told you July 31st.
I told you it was the 31st.
Uh-huh.
Next Thursday.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
yeah, it's here.
Let me tell you, and I'm not a big fan of July. I don't like the month of July. It's the worst sports month. Okay, I know baseball. Yeah, baseball, and the All-Star game and the home run derby and all that. Nah. The day after the All-Star game is considered the worst day in sports for the year. The worst day, the pinnacle, the black hole, whatever you want to call it.
It's dark.
It's just the worst, okay? And I like soccer. I like the WNBA. I love Sophie Cunningham. Anyway, don't get me started with that. But no. The Big Four, none of it. I'm sorry, MMA and boxing, you can't take up that slack. So, but the month of July has presented us nerds and geeks with great movies and shows coming out. Yay! So that'll tide me over. You know, I went and saw the Superman movie, pretty amazing. We caught the first 2 episodes of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. And now we have the Fantastic Four coming up. First Steps coming up next Friday, I believe it is. So I think I'll make it out of July alive. Bored to death, but alive. So on to the important stuff. Why don't we get to old faces and new places, because a lot went on. I mean, a lot. And we'll start with you and your favorite team.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh
The
Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers. You got a lot of new faces.
Yeah, we got some new
You
faces.
got some old faces
Yeah.
in the new place.
I just was reading this morning,
Emphasis on old.
speaking of AI formulated out through hundreds of simulations how the Steelers are going to finish this year. And they have us coming in at 11-6. Okay, They went
Wow.
through the schedule, won some games early. We go through a little bit of a tough stretch in the middle of the year after our bye. We bye in week 5. I think we come out of that bye with like a game against the Bengals. Obviously, playing the Bengals is tough, but they show us, at least through the AI, splitting the games between Baltimore and Cincinnati and then sweeping Cleveland, because we know who Cleveland is. But now, that aside, AI cannot figure it at this point if everybody stays healthy, if there's a major injury after week 1. That calculation changes, I'm sure.
That is the biggest thing in the NFL.
All right, here's where I'm at right
Everybody
now.
stays healthy.
With the signing of TJ Watt and giving him that massive deal to a 31-year-old defensive edge rusher that's had a hard time staying on the field for consistent.
Are you guys the oldest team in the league now?
I know that we have paid our defense probably the most that anybody has paid their defense in the league. And then if you extrapolated that out by the age of the players, yeah, that's the point of no return. This is what I'm going to say. This is, at least on paper now, with the semblance of a quarterback and the talent that we've brought in,
Wow.
and the fact that we've retained our star defensive edge rusher, Hall of Fame first ballot. Okay, traded away Pickens, a little bit of a cancer. So, the Steelers are all in to this point. So I will say this. The coaching and everybody else that's put them in this position over so many years has to be accountable to this point. So if this is a crash and burn season, everybody has to go. Tomlin, Khan.
Khan just signed an extension.
I know, which is insane
He
to me.
ain't going nowhere.
Well, I don't care. Blow it up. Why
Give
am I?
him his check and kick him in the ass. Is that what you're trying to say?
They're all in. Chips are all in. Okay?
Okay.
So at this point, what is the excuse if things don't go to plan? Okay.
It sort of sounds like my Dolphins.
There's
Go ahead.
none. There's none. So let's see. Basically, let me give you my AI prediction for the year. Now, most important relationship in sports and football, we always say, is the coach and the quarterback, correct? If you got your coach right, you got your quarterback right. Many examples of that over the league. You can see sustained success. Now, our coach, don't have a lot of faith in that guy to this point, okay? So I have an issue with at least half of this equation. The quarterback, pretty simple. Got a problem with this guy too. That's the other half of the equation. So already looking at it on the surface, I have a problem with the two most important parts of this equation.
I'm dying over here. Go ahead. I can't. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
So I have little faith in the organizational direction, in the decision makers, and in the players. And in that sense, I don't know what AI sees, but 11-6, really, in a division where you already have at best the third best quarterback in the division. In the division, you have the third best quarterback. In the division, you have at best the third best coach.
You might have like the 7th best quarterback because Cleveland's got 4.
Okay, so correct.
4.
You've got some unproven guys there.
Not counting Watson.
So going into the season, we have the third best quarterback in our own division and the third best coach in our own division. I guess it's up to the defense. So I guess we'll see how that all plays out. Now, last year the defense played well, and the defense this year could be lights out because I do love the Ramsey trade. I do love the fact that now we're getting a little bit healthier on that side. The question for me is going to be, from a football perspective, the offensive line, okay, and the fact of letting go of Najee Harris and using a two-tiered system with the rookie that we drafted in Jalen Warren, who has never shown to be able to handle a full workload. So
Tried last year and got hurt.
yeah, it's just, I mean, little faith in the organization, little faith in the team. It's been that way for a while. And I'm not just pulling stuff out of thin air. You can go back and see the lack of success and consistency that we've had for years. So, again, we'll see. Everybody starts in the same spot this year. Everybody's got dreams and aspirations. The grass is green. But I don't know how long it's going to last in Pittsburgh. That's my feeling of the matter. Yes.
Now, I know you completely forgot what the topic was. It was old faces and new places.
Yeah. Well, you told me about the Steelers.
And you just did about
5 minutes.
6 minutes, 7 minutes on the Steelers, and never once did you say the name Aaron Rodgers.
You didn't have to.
You hate him so bad.
Quarterback. No, I don't hate him. I
When
don't.
Aaron Rodgers became part of the conversation with the Pittsburgh Steelers, you got tired of me texting you going, Rodgers? Huh? You know, and it's like, I get it, okay? You will accept him if he's decent. Because all he's got to do is be decent.
This has nothing to do with
the ball. You're going to be balanced.
Listen,
so.
I have no ill feelings towards Aaron Rodgers being a quarterback.
I have video in the archives, okay, of you just ripping him a new one over and over and over again. Your hatred of your starting quarterback is documented.
Okay, well, listen, then let me further explain that, because we can go back and check.
Disdain.
I just didn't put him at the level at which people were putting him. And I also didn't think that a guy like that would be good for the Steelers. And again, my disdain is not for the players coming into the organization year one. It's for the current regime led by Tomlin that's been in place for all this time.
Yes.
That's been allowed to skate on mediocrity.
And we're here for your therapy.
Yeah, and that's why I have no faith in the system. I'm a system guy, and our system sucks.
Okay.
So the people running that system suck, and that's a problem. So it's not an Aaron Rodgers issue yet, but it can very well be at some point soon. He'll be a part of it.
But
yeah. Anyway,
are you ready?
I don't know.
Okay. So the new faces, of course, are Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
And Jonnu Smith.
Yes.
And Jalen Ramsey via trade.
Yes. Metcalf.
And who?
Metcalf.
And Metcalf via trade. Okay. So you've got a lot of big pieces there. Those are the new faces. Now, since we're in that division, let's run down with the other major new faces that are in new places. Like DeAndre Hopkins is in Baltimore, where old wide receivers go to end their careers. Sorry, DeAndre. It'd be one and done. You'll make the Hall of Fame. So they have that major addition for them.
Chasing a ring.
Chasing a ring, of course. Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Yeah.
Then we go to the Bengals, which, quite honestly, they haven't signed anybody. That cheap-ass team, they're so cheap and they're so stupid that their first-round draft choice went back to college. Went back to school. And is probably going to stick. He's probably not coming back. Was it Shamar Rayo or whatever his name is? He said, cheap-ass Cincinnati.
As of a few days ago, is it true that only one second-round draft pick has signed?
It was actually 3, but there's been a flood now because all the dominoes are falling.
Yeah.
It's all about guaranteed money with those kids.
Right.
And you know what? They deserve it.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because we're seeing a higher frequency of second-round draft picks.
Become successful in
Very
the NFL.
successful players.
And why do you think that is? Because the organizations are getting better at analyzing and also, too, give the players credit. Just like in all the sports we're seeing now, all these talented kids come up everywhere. These kids are living and drinking and eating these sports at such a young age now, and they're using every possible tool to their advantage.
And getting paid in high school.
And they're getting bigger and faster and stronger and
they get
better.
money in high school.
So the landscape of sports has risen dramatically in terms of what these kids have access to make them better.
Bananas.
Yeah. So yeah,
Bananas.
it's not. The landscape is changing in all of sports. Baseball players, the 17-year-old get the highest guarantee. Kid's
Yep, number
17
one
years
overall
old.
pick.
They are paying based on potential.
Sure.
They're not going to see this kid swing a baseball in a
3
bat.
years.
More probably. It's rare that anybody gets it, but now this kid could be the exception. There are some.
Listen,
The youngest player in ball right now is that Jackson Churio from Milwaukee, who just
Right.
turned 20.
Right.
Kid's a phenom.
Right.
There's a few, but you're going to see more.
But we've seen guys come up at 19 and succeed.
Oh,
so
it happens.
Give it 2 years.
But it's happening more now. There's more of a success rate for these players
Right.
to have a chance to
Right.
do that. For
So,
sure.
moving on, staying on topic.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cincinnati has found a way to screw up a perfectly good team. They paid their big three, but they're not paying anybody else. They're not paying Trey Hendrickson, so you're probably going to see him move. I would be shocked if they paid Trey Hendrickson something that he would be satisfied with. So moving on to Cleveland, 4 quarterbacks, not counting Deshaun Watson, in it vying for the starting job, including your former backup Kenny Pickett,
Who will never play.
who has a Super Bowl ring, by the way.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
With the Eagles. All right, but the
incredible.
bottom line is that they have no quarterbacks, essentially, outside of Flacco. Flacco's still in the discussion to start.
Stop. You know I'm a Shadur Sanders fan. You know that kid's going to – yeah, I'm telling you, when the kid gets to play, he's going to play, and he's going to ball out. Because why? Because he has ice water in his veins. The kid is cool. He was, like you said, he was raised to do this from 5th grade. 5th grade. He was when they started playing football, they strapped on them pads, and you can just see Dion lacing up his pads in the front, going NFL, that's where we're going, NFL.
Well, that hurt him, and that hurt him too.
Well,
obviously, and we all know that
think
history.
It prepared him.
Well, okay, maybe it did, but it also hurt him.
Okay.
I don't know how good the quarterbacks in Cleveland are going to be. I don't have any faith in the organization, and they're terrible, in terms of their leadership and ownership. So we'll see.
Okay, so running down the list of other major new faces in old places or the other way around. Okay, you've had a lot of movement this year, a lot of moving around, a lot of what we would call mid-tier players that have bounced around team to team to team. And we've had trades, like you said, with Pickens got sent down to Dallas. How's that going to work out?
Kid's talented.
All those mouths to feed.
Listen, Pickens' metrics are off the chart good. Route separation, all the stuff that will produce big numbers with a guy like that. You see his catchability rate.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, he's ridiculous. Super talented guy. But another important part of a player is what's above the shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
And
100%.
for the Steelers to admit that you're a little bit off and to ship you and get really nothing in return, that also tells a story.
Well, they've done that with a lot. They've done that with a lot of their. You notice a lot of these kids are coming out of the second round. A lot of these wide receivers that they're trading away and they're getting rid of are coming out of the second round. Claypool, second rounder.
How are we becoming the team that drafts receivers that have so many problems?
Right, and they only last 3 years.
Plaxico, Burris, Antonio Brown, George Pickens, Claypool. I mean, what? This is the system that we operate in Pittsburgh. Okay, this is the chaos that Tomlin has created.
And what about the other kid, Dion?
Johnson, Deontay Johnson, another one.
Deontay Johnson. Wow.
When does it end? And who's to blame?
Not me.
Next.
So what other new faces? What we got? We've got Sam Darnold out in Seattle.
Yes, replacing a quarterback who I think landed in a very favorable spot in L.A.
Gino landed not in L.A. in Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
Okay,
LV,
that's what I mean.
You're off by a letter.
I mean the Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah. They are an interesting team, the Vegas Raiders, with some offensive weapons and a guy that loves to play action. I think 3rd overall metric-wise for play-action quarterbacks.
Yep.
And now he's got pretty much an offense that sets up play action and a coach that likes to run play action.
Well, I still see the Raiders going after one of these free agent wide receivers because that's sort of an old Raiders tradition of picking up, 35-year-old wide receivers, and they have 1 or 2 great years at the end of their career in silver and black. So we'll see a guy like maybe Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper will end up, out in Las Vegas.
Where'd Elijah Moore go? Did he go to the Raiders?
No, he went somewhere. I forget where he went. Why? How'd you pull Elijah Moore?
Because he's another one of these wide receivers, experienced, talented guy
very
that
fast. I know, but
that can
still,
play.
he hasn't really shown anybody anything.
Where did Elijah Moore get traded
I don't know.
to?
Where did he go? So we also have some players that stayed.
Went to the Browns.
He went to the Browns?
Went to the Browns.
So he stayed at the Browns.
Well, he went from the Jets. Remember, the Jets had him. And he went to the Browns.
He went from the Jets
To the Browns. Yeah. Initially traded to the Cleveland Browns for the New York Jets. More recently, he's trying. Oh no, he went to Buffalo. He went to Buffalo. Wow.
They've got a few new faces.
That's
out there
interesting.
As well.
That's
Joey
interesting.
Bosa went to Buffalo.
Yeah, but on the offensive side,
and then
you're
Von
giving
Miller turned around and went to the Washington Commanders.
you're giving Josh Allen more weapons. Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
well,
fine.
And they're still going to find a way not to go to the Super Bowl. So,
Like a true hater.
let me see. It's like I had a list and I outran the list, and but you need to stay up on players that have changed, especially players who have changed to systems that can maximize their talents, because you can have a guy, case in point, Saquon Barkley. Okay, everybody loved Saquon Barkley when he was with the Giants. You would see Saquon Barkley getting picked towards the end of the first round, beginning of the second round, every year, constantly, consistently. Even though the Giants were terrible, it's Barkley. He is a super talented, and boy, did we fuck around and find out last year.
He was a man possessed last year on a team of destiny.
Yeah, so who do you think is going to be that next breakout player that changed teams and went to a system that maximizes their abilities and their talents to be a fantasy stud? Who would be that next player?
You know what? For me, it may not even be a player that was traded so much as what you're seeing, what you saw last year.
Or that moved in free agency.
Or even rookies. So I'll give you the example.
Ooh.
Wide receivers usually take a year or two to develop. That's been the norm. That's been what people accept to happen.
Used to be 3.
But last year, you had rookie tight ends that were blowing up. You had rookie receivers like Browers. You had Malik Neighbors, Brian Robinson Jr. All these kids coming out of nowhere putting up monster numbers. So you looked at this year's draft, and you had receivers that were being coveted. You had, 3 or 4 taken in the first round.
Yep.
And you wonder which one of those guys is going to step up. I can tell you just by what I have here is I pulled up the expert draft. And it looks like the first rookie wide receiver taken, again, is going to be Travis Hunter.
Right.
What kind of influence is he? Now, he's a 6th round pick here, again, by the experts. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's 5 coming back. So here's a guy, a rookie receiver, being taken inside the top 50 picks to a team that's not an offensive team per se, in a quarterback like in Trevor Lawrence, who is, again, who is Trevor Lawrence? You're 5 now. We're still waiting for something to happen in Jacksonville.
He's got nice hair.
You know, Sunshine's got to do it at some point.
Good hair, though.
So, again, Travis Hunter, who's going to be the next rookie receiver that's going to come in this year and take the league by storm? I mean, last year, Neighbors had over 100 catches. Bowers had over 100 catches. And they were in offenses that really are not considered prolific offenses.
Terrible.
What happens in year 2 when these guys take a step up? What happens now with Geno with the Raiders?
They were just terrible.
Where they have, obviously a serviceable quarterback that can deliver the football. So I think the ceiling is high on some of these guys coming into the league this year. And I think that's where people aren't too sure. I mean, you look at a guy that's been traded, you have a track record. You have something to go by. Rookies, it's all on projections and based on what you think's going to happen. I'd rather take a shot on the upside on a guy coming into the league now, knowing that footprint, that blueprint's been set where now we can count on 1 or 2 guys coming in and going, wow, that guy had an amazing year.
Well, yeah, and the real captain obvious has got to be George Pickens being sent to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, that's the real captain obvious, isn't it? I mean, honestly, we're talking about a kid who was uber talented, even though you had mediocre guys like what's his name?
Dallas?
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks or Tolbert.
No. I'm talking about Pittsburgh. He had mediocre quarterbacks.
Oh, my God. It was terrible last year. It was Russell Wilson. It was Fields. It was whoever, yeah.
And he still produced. Okay, so I would say the captain, he's in a contract year. Dallas is content to let him play it out. So what are we going to see? We're going to see a lot of George Pickens with his hand up, going open, open, open. I'm open, open, I'm open. And you know what? And he's going to be open a lot. He really is, because as we looked at the top 10 fantasy drafts, C.D. Lamb was as high as third.
I got him third right
overall.
now. Yeah. So again, that
Are
lends
you nuts?
that lends to what you're saying about now. Okay, everybody's on George Pickens. Does that open things up more for C.D. Lamb?
I'm going to say that's going to be the logic behind that.
Or does that take away? I mean, like you said, Pickens has to get his. So you have to start looking at target share. Let me just give you a quick kind of synopsis. I know we're going to get into a lot of draft strategies and stuff like that.
Don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah, but
we don't want to be here until 3 o'clock. I got to work tonight.
I got to work with you. What I think simply what we need to do this year when we start to get into projections is take a team like, for instance, if we want to go Dallas, and we'll extrapolate Dak Prescott's numbers to be so many attempts. Okay, and we use last year's data, and let's say he's going to throw the ball 500 times this year. Okay, that's 500 targets. Oh, yeah. Then you go down to the offense and you start looking at who is going to get those targets. Now, you know CeeDee Lamb is going to get most of those targets. Not most,
40%.
but he's going to get, again, whatever those percentages are. And then you work your way down the list. So you take out who's leaving the team, who came into the team, and then you kind of come up with a formula. It's important to do that because you got to see where the distribution is going to go.
Sure.
And it's going to be based on many factors that you're going to have to get into: coaching, offensive philosophy, strengths and weaknesses, how good the defense is.
Yep.
We use an example like the Cowboys. Their defense last couple of years hasn't been very good. Cincinnati Bengals, another prolific offense. Their defense, we know they're not signing anybody. They're not going to sign their best player. They're going to have to score 40 points again this year.
They can't even keep rookies.
Yeah, so they're going to have to score a ton, which means lots of offensive fantasy production. So these are some of the things you need to consider when you're breaking down important things like target share and opportunities and all these different things, because the production has to go somewhere. You just have to decide where it's going.
Yep.
So that's what's important. So in this instance, going back to CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, I mean, George Pickens, you know, in Pittsburgh, he wasn't a huge target guy. He was a big play guy.
Right.
So I don't think he goes over there and all of a sudden commands targets. I just think he diversifies that offense and makes everybody just a little bit better. Because now you can't really focus on CeeDee Lamb maybe like you did in previous years. Because now you have a legit other top-end receiver on the other side of the field that's going to command a lot of attention. And a lot of defensive philosophy is going to have to go that way.
Who's in a career year.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things there. Super talented, but again, the head is got to be in a different spot.
And he is swearing up one side and down the other that he's not the head case that they make him out to be.
Listen, people mature.
He's even gone so far as to say that all these other guys who have gone before him, whether it's the Claypools or the Browns or whatever, those guys aren't what they do is they sit there and they gaslight you and make you think you're crazy.
Yeah. Well, remember this too. I just explained it's so easy to see the overall environment in Pittsburgh and how it's been the last few years. The offense has been second fiddle, and you got a guy here that is a young player that is super talented, that's got a lot of money and whatever, and you hear this all the time. You know what? People mature. Sometimes people make mistakes. Sometimes people start off a certain way, and then eventually they get to a point in their life where they're like, you know what, I got to start doing things differently. And they do. Okay, it's called maturity. It's called growing up, being an adult.
Yeah, well.
And again, in a play like this, if you have everything else right, and you just got to get your head right, hopefully he does.
Well,
I'm not rooting against the kid.
Yeah, right. But out of the half a dozen or so guys that we talk about, those mercurial wide receivers, if you will. All right, Antonio Brown.
Yeah, he's gone. Gone.
We've met Antonio Brown.
He's gone.
Okay, yeah, he's
gone.
Go ahead and sue me. You're going to get $15, pal.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's bananas, and I'd have to say Deontay Johnson had some sort of mental constipation there for 2 years. 2 years. He went to Carolina to be the man. Couldn't get anything going.
Yeah.
Got dumped. Went to Baltimore to be the man.
He got dumped.
Got dumped and brought back because they were like, you improve your attitude, we'll put you on the bench and we'll help you get your shit together. So a couple of them are crazy. I don't think Claypool is a nut. I think Claypool's a good kid. He's a good kid from Ohio State. He's a hard worker. When he was here in Miami, everybody loved him to death. Okay, I just think that he has been in a bad way the last couple of years as far as small injuries. He's had a whole bunch of like nicky knack. I mean, the last time he was with the Dolphins, which was 2 years ago, he was on the injured list for like 6 weeks, and it was like 4 little things. It was like foot, finger, neck,
Earlobe.
and like dandruff. I
Yeah.
mean, it was just a whole bunch of little things. And
Dandruff. That's a good one.
I dig it. I have a whole bunch of little things wrong with me, but I'm a middle-aged man. I always have a little.
And dandruff is not one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Dandruff.
Yeah.
Dandruff
Yeah.
is not a fucking problem
I
there.
Don't
bro,
have
let
that
me tell you.
either. Yeah, head lice, I'm good.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as far as all the major new faces in old faces in new places are concerned, you've got a lot of guys that have moved around, but as far as making a significant contribution fantasy-wise and play-wise, team-wise, impact players, really there's not a lot as far as offensive players, skill position players. It's not a lot to really deal with there. I mean, like I said, you've got some quarterbacks that have moved around. You've got some young quarterbacks that are coming up, but
Yeah, looking through the experts here again, through this draft I pulled up,
Right.
going through the first 7 or 8 rounds, I don't see a player that was with a different team last year. There were some defense, except for Metcalf. Metcalf is inside the top
Right.
6th round, so he's one player that changed spots. But for the most part, see Metcalf here, round 5, pick 2.
Okay.
For the most part, outside of rookies that are all over this top 6 or 7 rounds.
I'm copying off your paper.
It's a lot of guys that are in the same spot. So it's the rookies, it's other guys that are hopefully going to create some value for you. But we'll get into the first round,
Right.
maybe even probably the second round,
And you know what?
tell you some
And
things.
We'll take a quick break and we'll do that. I don't know, in about 2.5 minutes. How about that?
Cool.
How about that? Okay, and we'll cue up the legend of Ed Gennaro. Gonzo Radio Sports Desk back in 2.
Now, let's analyze what's been working for us. Not a goddamn thing's been working for us. Like this goddamn suit doesn't work for me. And this stinking tie. And this goddamn shirt. It doesn't work for me. You know how to play winning hard-nosed football? You play football like Ed Gennaro played football. A guy who gave his life for this football team. He was a 140-pound halfback, and he played like a goddamn wild man. No, like a goddamn rampaging beast. And that's the way you gotta do it. You go out there, you tear their fucking heads off, and you shit down their necks. Let us pray.
Gonzo Radio.
As your will is bent and broken, and every vision has been cast into the wind. As your courage crashes down before your eyes, so lay down and die. 'Cause I'm seeing you more than you ever know. And I ask you what you question the strength inside, and you need to know how it feels to be alive.
Gonzo Radio.
And we're back. I had to shush him. I had to interrupt
saw.
him because he was on a roll. Welcome back to the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. You know what? Once I'm telling you, how can you tell it's the first fantasy show of the season where we're just jibber jabbering on the breaks? Just blah, 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 blah. So yeah, we're back, and we were just discussing the top 10, and of course it wandered outside of the top 10, so we're getting into the second round picks and guys who are going to be great second round value, but we'll get to that, the value picks, next week. Okay, are you going to be free next week at 11 a.m. on a Sunday?
Should be.
There's no volleyball.
I don't know.
You don't have to go travel to like Kentucky.
I don't know. My daughter's on the way back from Italy right now.
For
She's on a
crying out
plane.
loud!
Yeah.
Shut up.
Anyway, yeah. So who are you taking with the first
Tell her to
pick?
Go to her own volleyball practices. Who am I taking with the first? Well, first of all, if I have the first pick in the draft,
Trade it.
I'm trading.
I'm trading
I'm
too.
trading. I'll take number 11. If it's the 12 team, I'll take the 11th pick. Yeah, I'll take. No. No.
Well, let me give you the consensus.
There's two, that is such a precarious perch. Okay, and I know what a lot of there's like 3 players who are the consensus. One of them being Jamar Chase.
Correct.
Okay, you have some maniacs that are talking about CeeDee Lamb as the number 1 overall pick, which
Yeah.
is insane.
Remember, we love our running backs.
And
Somebody's taking Barkley number
Saquon
1.
Barkley.
Somebody's taking Bijan Robinson number 1. Somebody's probably going to reach for maybe a Justin Jefferson number 1.
Yeah, but I'll tell you for a fact. Okay, if I have the number 1 pick, okay, if I have the top 5 picks, and Saquon Barkley's available to me, I'm taking him.
I'm not taking him at number 1.
Oh well, if
Yeah.
I'm number 1,
Yeah, if I'm stuck with
I will
one-
predict it for you right now.
It's Jamar Chase all day long. Yeah, his numbers are ridiculous. We just said their defense is terrible. They're going to have to score 40 points a game, and they could with Joe Burrow at quarterback. So that's probably going to be my first one. But I'm like you. I typically despise being at the front end of the draft. We talk about it every year. We're going to talk about it this year. I'm going to talk about it now. Every single year.
It's philosophy.
At
baby.
least half of the players in the first
Philosophize.
round don't hit value.
Right.
At least half. Some of them miss terribly. And that means that you're chasing. Because to fill that first round production, what you thought you would get from that player, could take you several rounds worth of hitting and making great picks to build up that difference. Now, our teams never look the same at the end of the year. We're chasing waiver wires and we're making trades. I get all that. But out of the gate, you got to be aware that your first round pick has to be almost a pick of safety, in my opinion. That's not necessarily where you're going for ceiling. And we'll get into more strategy, and I'll be more prepared with how to present that. But that's just something to chew on right now. Because, again, if you got all your eggs in one basket, and it's round 1, pick 3, and it's McCaffrey or whoever it's going to be this year, and it's very nerve-wracking to be in that position out of the gate. So just be conscious of it. So I pulled up the expert, okay, in parentheses, consensus, at least at this point in the middle of July, for the first round. And it's pretty much what you would expect. There really aren't many surprises.
Pretty chalky.
There are some players I don't agree with, but again, we'll get into that point. So let's just go for the top. Okay, Jamar Chase being number 1. Makes sense as the number 1 selection overall to you? It does to me, okay, based on what we said. So I'm okay with that being right now number 1 overall. Now, number 2. Thank you, Atlanta, for giving us your offensive coordinator.
Bijan.
And Arthur Smith. And now you have a running back that, again, is based on a ton of potential, a ton of hype, where he was taken, Bijan Robinson. How's that offense going to look this year? I mean, I don't know. They should be able to put up points.
Bijan.
I mean, again, how safe is that pick, taking him as number 2? I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem taking Bijan number 2. For me, it's very difficult to take these top 3, 4 running backs at each position and say this guy's definitively better than this guy. I prefer, and I may go with this year more so, is to create, we've done this in the past, tiers. Having guys in tiers.
Yep.
And having enough guys at certain levels so that, okay, maybe you don't get Bijan Robinson, but can you really tell me that he's going to be that much better than Jahmyr Gibbs, or that much better than Saquon Barkley, or that much better than, let's say, maybe Ashton Gentry based upon his potential volume and role? So if you don't have much separation between these players, make your life easy. Build a tier and put these players within that tier. so that you know comfortably that you're taking players that are very comparable at certain positions during the draft and be able to build your team from that perspective. So going down the list, Bijan's at 2, CeeDee Lamb, number 3, Justin Jefferson, number 4, Jahmyr Gibbs, number 5, Saquon Barkley, Ashton Genty. A little bit of a surprise here, the Nakua.
Puka Nakua.
Now, I know Cooper Kupp is gone, and I know they re-signed Stafford. I know the relationship is there.
Right.
He's had some injury issues, okay?
You signed other wide receivers,
Yeah,
though.
well, they had to help build that staff up to, not allow all the pressure being on just him, and we know Stafford can distribute the ball. So the more weapons he has, the better that offense goes.
Slinging it.
But I'm a little nervous in that spot. Next pick, right after him, we talked about the importance of how rookies hit the scene last year. Malik Neighbors. Again, same offense potentially. You don't know what the Giants' offense is going to look like. I think the team's improving.
It's another one with 4 quarterbacks.
Okay, but yet this guy's inside the top 7 or 8 picks consensus. Here's a guy I don't like, Josh Jacobs, and we'll get into that. Then Christian McCaffrey, again, big question marks there too. And to finish out the round, one of my favorite players in fantasy sports who's won me championships, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Who, by the way, over the last 4 years, has the 3rd highest number of touchdowns in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, and the highest catch rate, too.
He's a phenomenal player.
Highest catch rate, too. But listen, once you get into, listen, you did the top 10, right?
Top
That was
12.
10?
This is 12. This
12?
is a 12-team pack, and I went through the top 12.
Okay, which, it once again, it really confuses me how some players don't make it into that first round when they deserve to be in that first round.
Okay, so let's take half this first round and take them out. Because we just said half of them are not going to be where you want them to be at the end of the year. So of the 12 players that I picked, let's pull 6 out that are going to shit the bed this year. Okay? Now, go from number 1. You think Jamar Chase is going to shit the bed this year?
No.
I think the only thing happening, and again, let's take injuries out of this because we don't know about that. So is Jamar Chase going to shit the bed this year?
No.
Okay. Is Bijan Robinson going to shit the bed this year?
Potentially.
There's a little, okay,
He's got a little bit of potential.
Yeah, door's
a
open.
little bit.
The door's open, okay?
A little bit.
CeeDee Lamb at number 3. Seems like a reach on a quarterback that we've been banging on for years with an owner in a situational team we've been banging on for years.
And they went out and got a good backup in Joe Milton, too, so they don't want any drop-off in the quarterback position.
And they have other players they brought in that are going to demand targets. We talked about Pickens.
Of course.
Okay, other thing. Okay, so CeeDee Lamb, he's on the fence right now. Okay.
I would say he's got more potential to be good than
Okay.
that.
Justin Jefferson, number 4.
That's a biggie.
Tough one, right?
That's a biggie, man, because
Quarterback, we're not sure.
I think McCarthy's gonna gel well with
I don't
him.
care what you
they're
think.
gonna produce.
I don't care what you think. I can tell you it's a rookie quarterback.
I
can tell you it's a rookie sort of kind of coach, younger sort of thing where they're building something that you don't know what you're going to get. Or you're going to put all your eggs in what you don't know what you're going to
JJ's
get.
gonna ball out.
Oh, fine. Okay, but again, we're checking the boxes to
Right.
determine who we're pulling out. I'm taking Justin Jefferson out of the 4 spot. I'm not comfortable taking him there.
Right.
Number 5, Jahmyr Gibbs. 2 new coaches in an organization now. A lot of mouths to feed.
Little bit of
Still
potential
got David Montgomery
to
there.
disappoint. Yeah, a little bit of potential to have a dip in production.
Now, here's what I'll say. I think he finished number 4 or 5 overall running back last year,
Sure.
despite Montgomery.
He was awesome last year. He was gold last. Trust me, I had him on 2 different teams.
And if now given the opportunity and timeshare not being what it was, because now David Montgomery's also a year older, and
Right,
again,
but
the
I
money's
still
been paid
see
to
I
this.
still see some statistical fallback. I still see some regression, whatever you want to call it.
Little concern there, but I am not. I don't mind taking Gibbs as the 2nd or 3rd overall running back. So
Okay.
I'm going to keep him there. Now, this is where we're going to differ. You got Barkley coming in as the number 3 pick overall running back this year.
I'm high on Barkley.
And I am too, but I'm not sure I want to reach for him there. Okay, you still look at the fact that they tried to take away what the Eagles do better than anybody else was to
failed.
give their quarterback touchdowns. He took away so many opportunities last year. Barkley had a lot of big plays last year. And I can tell you this, I think that, I'm not going to say the jury's out on Jalen Hurts because he is a top quarterback, but
He is what he is.
I feel like that you're going to have a lot more teams this year focused on Barkley than you are in terms of their other offensive philosophy and weapons in terms of what they do.
Wait. Do you really think that teams weren't focused on Barkley last
I know
year?
it. I know it's coach speak what I said, but what I'm saying is that the league is very smart, and the league tends to make adjustments in the benefit of the team.
How
that's
do you
doing
adjust
so.
for a physical freak like him?
They're all physical freaks. I'm not keeping him there at number 6. I'm not comfortable. He moved up a ton. That's a big jump from last year.
I'll take him at number 6 all day, but go
And
ahead.
what happens is we tend to chase production from last year. We tend to think that, oh, what's changed? Things are similar. He's got to do what he did last year. I'm saying that's not the case. So here's another one. They have Genty at number 7 overall.
Hasn't taken a snap.
Man, that's scary. Let somebody else make that pick.
He's in a Chip Kelly offense.
Oh, yeah. And he's going to get a ton of opportunities. And the
it's
kid's a beast, and we
Yeah.
know all this, and whatever.
It's
whatever,
all
whatever.
potential.
Okay, so let somebody else take that shot.
That's a fancy French word for you ain't done shit yet.
This one struck me right away, Puka Nacua. Okay, a little bit of an injury risk. Now,
Devontae Adams is on the other side of him.
yes, now he's the focus on the offense. Again, a volume guy, yes, Puka, but he's not a touchdown guy.
He had high volume usage last year, and he got nicked up.
Well, he's not a
got beat up.
He's not a touchdown guy.
Right, and
Adams
he's not
is
a
touchdown
surprise
guy.
anymore.
Okay, worrisome there. That's 4 guys so far in the first 8 picks that I'm not comfortable with.
Okay.
Malik Neighbors, dude is unbelievable. I mean, he
All right.
flourished last year in a system where there was none.
If Russell Wilson is the starting quarterback, I'm not as high on him. Drop him five spots, just 5. Okay. But if Jameis Winston is his quarterback, move him up 3 spots.
Again, he had
because
three-
he's going to have 115 catches for 1,700 yards and 14 touchdowns.
He had 4 quarterbacks last year, and he still had over 100 catches.
I understand.
So to me, I don't think it matters as much as who's throwing him the football, as in just somebody throwing him the football.
Winston can sling.
Oh, I know
it,
he
though,
can.
dude. You know that.
I know there's plus and minus.
And
so
he falls in love with a wide receiver.
I love-
Just ask Mike what's his face out in Tampa.
I love Malik Neighbors anywhere
All right.
in the back end of that first round.
So leave him right where he is.
Josh Jacobs, no bueno. And here's why I'm saying it. He had 17 touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about
They
chasing
leaned
production.
on him.
Talking about chasing production.
Sure, they leaned on him.
Yeah,
Like
I'm not.
crazy.
I'm not chasing 17 touchdowns. I'm also not chasing the workload. He had over 300 carries last year. 2 years ago, following a 300-plus touch season, he was injured, played 11 games.
Sure.
His yards per carry was the lowest of his career.
Right.
He had a lot of positive things happen in his favor last year. On a team right now where I'm not really sold on the offense or the quarterback yet.
They went out and drafted Golden, okay, who was an outstanding wide receiver. Speaking of rookie wide receivers that are going to have an impact.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, and I mean, people were wringing their hands. What do you mean? They've got 15 good wide receivers. No, they've got 5 mediocre wide receivers. They've got a couple of guys who can't stay on the field.
Well, that's the biggest issue. They've got talent at the position. They just can't stay healthy.
Nope. And you're
Watson,
going to see
Dobbs,
one or
all
more of
guys.
those guys. One or more of those guys is going to hit the waiver wire. They're going to get cut. They're going to be a training camp cut.
Yeah, so
Simple
Jacobs,
as that.
I'm not too thrilled at
Nope.
that spot.
Slide them down.
Now, Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh.
To me, this is the enigma in the first round. Because we all know the stuff that we talk about when it comes to running backs and when they hit a certain point and the age. And there's guys like Derrick Henry in this category this year, Christian McCaffrey.
Stop giving away my sneaky pick.
Guys that are almost on the other side, but yet are still in opportunities, big production guys, big system guys. Baltimore, you see how good they were last year with Henry and how good that offense looked. When McCaffrey's on the field and you see how well when all those pieces are in place, how good he looks at the quarterback position. Things just work better when those guys are on the field. But, again, the reality is Father Time, you don't beat Father Time. And eventually he does catch you.
Undefeated.
And McCaffrey is another guy that has had some injuries and is on the other side in terms of carries and time on the field and age and all these things we tend to worry about. He is going to be the focal point of the offense. But this is another strategy point that I'm thinking about right now that we'll get into in terms of drafting. I looked at the Niners' schedule, and people were down on them in terms of just, are they going to be able to have the same success They question the quarterback signing, paying him all the money, the age in McCaffrey, not having Debo, all these other things. Now is Ayuk on the physically unable to perform list to start the year or some shit I saw?
Right.
Okay, so it's already starting in San Francisco.
Ricky
Pearsall. So it's already starting in San Francisco.
And they just cut their safety, Odom or whatever his name is. They just cut him. That guy was a Pro Bowler.
You have to consider this.
San Francisco's a mess.
You have to consider the landscape of the team and where they're going to be when you need them the most, which is playoff time, weeks 12, weeks 13, weeks 14. Let's paint out two quick scenarios for the Niners. Let's say things don't go well because they've already started to not to, and they're not competitive, or things don't go to plan, and they've got an aging running back on their hand that they're paying a ton of money to that they're going to try, hopefully, at the end of the year, get rid of if they can.
They're stuck with him until after 2026, by the way.
You're not going to
Stuck.
be using that guy like you want him to be used in a first-round pick. Okay, you need to make sure these guys are getting volume and opportunities because without that, you don't get production.
20-plus touches.
Now, let's go the other route. Let's say the Niners are having a great year and they get to weeks 11 and week 12, and that division's not great, and things happen, and they have Cardinals are who they are, and the Rams struggle for whatever reason, and the Niners are got a 2-game lead in week 12. Are you going to get the most out of McCaffrey at that spot, knowing that they're looking now playoff bound? And looking at using the guy when they need him the most, they don't give a shit about your fantasy team.
No.
You do, right? This is your job to manage it, not theirs. So you need to consider a guy like that that's got a little bit of tread on the tire and figure out, first 6 weeks, yeah, they want to win games. They're going to lean on him. But when you need him for your fantasy team, are you going to be able to get that first-round production in week 12 and 13 out of McCaffrey? That's a guy I'm taking out of the first round. Ending the first round is a guy I love we talked about real quick. Amon-Ra St. Brown. The dude is just money in the bank.
If anything, he's undervalued.
Oh, my gosh.
They had
money
12?
in the bank. 12. He's the last pick in the
It should
first
be
round.
It should be 8.
I'll take him.
Yeah.
I'll take him.
But, okay, back to McCaffrey. Okay, I have theories about certain players as far as their injury histories are concerned. And McCaffrey has been very, very consistent with this. He's an every other year hurt guy. Okay, his first 3 seasons in the NFL, he was gangbusters. He was nuts. Of course, he's 21, 22, 23. I mean, when I was 23, I could walk off a sprained ankle, no problem. Okay? But as the wear and tear wore on, you started to see he's hurt and out for a long period of time, longer and longer periods of time as he gets older. And it's every other year. Okay, so here
he's
we are.
every other away from retirement because the
Right.
next every other could be.
I see elevated production, something closer to normal numbers for him this year because it's his healthy year. Okay, but it's like you said, are we going to rely on him in week 12, 13, 14? We're in the playoffs. Okay, he might be nicked at that time. Okay, he might be banged up at that time. He might only get 10 touches.
You want
10
young
touches
guys.
ain't going to work for you.
You want young guys down the stretch.
You want
young
bangers.
healthy players. Yes.
It's either that or you want Derrick Henry, because Derrick Henry is just a steamroller. He is a big rig. He is, he's a Cummins diesel running right down your throat.
As big as he is, as strong as he is, you see his exercise and workout videos. You've seen his production over the last so many years. That's another guy that I am just not interested in.
I'll take him.
And again, when I say these sorts of things,
10, 11, 12.
if Derrick Henry fell to the 4th round, I'd jump on him. But I'm saying
he's not going to fall to the 4th round.
Okay, but my point is that when I say I'm not taking a player, that doesn't mean that I'll never take a player. I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
It just means that I'm not going to take him typically where he is being taken
Positional value.
in the draft. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's a guy that I'm not chasing, a McCaffrey type player. Again, because you want to know where these guys are going to produce for you when it counts.
Right. Okay. So you've moved these 6 players out of the first round.
Let's go through them again. In my opinion, okay, I'm worried about Jefferson. I'm worried about Barkley. I'm worried about Genti. I'm worried about Puka. I'm worried about Jacobs. I'm worried about McCaffrey. Those are my 6 guys.
Okay, take those guys out.
Those guys are out.
Who's going in?
Brian Thomas, Nico Collins, A.J. Brown. They have Lamar Jackson here. I don't mind taking Lamar, again, if you're a
In the
quarterback
first
guy.
round?
Well, they got him, the first quarterback taken.
In the first fucking round?
End of the second round. Here's a guy, Lad McConkey. I don't know if I want to put him up into the first round, but
No.
again, when all these guys start to fall out, what if McConkey ends up being the number 4 wide receiver this year overall?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying there are going to be players. Jonathan Taylor, he's still the focal point of that offense. Okay, what if he moves back into the top 3 for running backs this year? He automatically is a first-round pick. I'd put him into the first round. So there are guys that you know are going to have to replace the guys that are going to fall out of the first round. And I think those are the guys within the next 2 or 3 rounds that you could look at and see that they have the potential to exceed where positional value,
Right.
where they're being taken in the drafts. And I think that's where you need to start and focus on, because we know it is a fact. Half of these guys are going to STB, shit the
Shit
bed.
the bed.
All right? Half of them. So that's easy. We don't have to think. Okay?
Right.
You just got to find those guys.
Well, okay, so you talk about tiers, okay? Let's talk about positionally, okay, running backs versus wide receivers. One of the reasons why running backs are at such a premium is because there's a much smaller pool of elite running backs to choose from than there are wide receivers.
Usage in terms of how they're used.
Yes, usage as well.
Yes.
But there's still a shit ton fewer elite running backs that compared to the number of elite wide receivers. Because you can say that every team has an elite wide receiver, at least one. Every team. It doesn't matter how much you want to reach. If Marvin Harrison Jr., he's their elite guy. He had a mediocre rookie season, but he's their elite guy. You talk about Puka. Okay, well, if Puka goes down, expect Devontae Adams' numbers to go through the fucking roof. Okay, I picked him in the 6th round. Yeah, good for you. He was a 6th round value with Puka going in the 1st or 2nd. Okay, he's the WR2.
They have him as 4-5 right now.
Exactly.
So round 4, pick 5.
Regardless,
Yeah.
the point is that there are definitely an elite WR1 on just about every team. I'll go so far as to say there's 30 of them. There's maybe 8 elite running backs. 8 total. There's 30 elite wide receivers. There's 8 elite running backs. Simple.
You know, when we talk about production,
It's math.
and when you're creating these tiers, we use, like point separation within, each of the positions. So like wide receiver, your number 1 receiver and your number 10 receiver, you need to look at in terms of points per game what that separation is.
Yep.
That's what creates your tiers. Because if you only have, let's say, obviously Jamar Chase, last year's numbers were unbelievable. I think he was number 1 overall in fantasy. But when you start to look at the running backs, maybe out of those first 4 or 5 guys, the drop-off could be pretty substantial.
Prodigious.
But yet, in terms of the difference between pick 6 and pick 15, may not be that much of a difference. And that may be the extent of that next tier. Now, when you extrapolate that tier into where they're being taken, it could be 3 or 4 rounds between those players. And guess what? That's where you've created your value. Because there may not be much separation in terms of the production, but if you're getting players in those rounds where you're getting similar production across the board, that's how you build a successful fantasy team.
Right.
That's where the success
Well,
lies.
that and also part of it has to do with good anticipation. Okay, your ability to anticipate what the output, the production of that player could be, versus say another player that you're interested in. If you're sitting there in the 2nd round and you have 4 RB1s to choose from, then you have to go back and you have to see, okay, well, number 1 has this many points per game last year, and they had this usage rate, and 2 points usage. But okay, so what do we anticipate this year? Because last year was different. This year is going to be different. They do vary. So you have to be able to anticipate how those usage rates are and to make your choice. And me, like I said, I will take a look at the entire team. Let's say, you have team 1 or running back 1, their team, they went and brought in 2 new offensive linemen. They have a new quarterback. They have a new offensive coordinator. I mean, crazy shit like that, like what happened with Las Vegas. Okay, you have Chip Kelly is your offensive coordinator. Okay,
It's got to be an upgrade.
Old man Pete is your coach. Rah, rah, rah.
But it's still an upgrade.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so they're going to light it up. Gino's got a strong arm. They're going to light it up. They've got Ashton Genty, a fireplug maniac. They're going to light it up. Okay, you anticipate that. That's the reason why a guy like Genty is in the top half of the first round, because you anticipate that. So once you get down to your choices of positions and multiple players in that position, you have to start looking at the whole team, the schedule. You have to start looking at all the periphery, and then you have to make an educated guess. You have to come up with an educated hypothesis. Sorry, I didn't mean to use the big words. I know it's a sports show. But you have to come up with that hypothesis of, is this guy going to produce like he did last year? Is he going to do better? Is there going to be a regression? You don't want a regression, okay? Even if the regression may be slightly higher than the number 2 guy, because the number 2 guy has, a system that's catering to his needs. Things are going to be better for him. You can anticipate that they may be better. There's a higher upside. So you got to watch out for that. That's all I can say.
It's fair.
Anything else? All right, bye. See ya.
There's a
Peace.
lot.
We're out. Yeah, there's a ton. I know.
But next week, we're going to get more into philosophy, draft strategy, again, some of the stuff we touched on today, but more into just preparing you the best you can be for your drafts.
Right. Well, everybody who's in the 2 leagues that we're in, the Screwy Louie Football League and the Motley Crue League, you guys go ahead and draft names. Just go ahead. Just name a name that you recognize. Just go ahead and draft it. Whatever. I don't care if it's.
Love Aaron Rodgers this year.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. That's a second rounder right there.
Anybody from the Steelers offense
Right,
in the
you
first
got to
round.
get a guy who's going to be a Hall of Famer. Second round, third round, go right ahead, go for it. Yeah. We encourage it. So Randall Cunningham, I think he's still out there, right?
He could be. Take a kicker.
Pick a kicker. Yeah, no, you need to pick 2 kickers. By the way, Screwy Louie Football, for those of you out there, the 3 or 4 of you that are watching here, we are voting on whether to turn the tight end position into a tight end wide receiver flex. And so far we have 4 votes in the positive.
Oh, wow. Look at you guys going out on a limb.
We're already, well, of course, that's because I'm organizing.
Going out on a limb.
So why? What do you vote?
Creating a flex position.
What do you vote? No, we're eliminating the tight end position.
To make it even easier, because people can't figure out their tight ends. So, no, that makes sense.
Well, listen, we handicapped you by making you pick a kicker, so.
Get rid of the kickers.
No.
Keep the tight ends. No. And then create a flex and extend the bench by 1. Done.
No.
Next.
I'm good at picking kickers, so no.
Kickers suck.
My kickers are awesome. They're always awesome. My kickers win games for me.
Kicker is the most streamed position in fantasy football, which means it has no value. Because I can tell you this, that when people go to stream their kicker, what information, what website do they use? Seriously, do they use kickersavant.com and they end he's the best guy this week? No. They go to the highest projected guy and they hit enter.
Listen.
Okay, it's a joke, and you
want to listen. You want to know the key to picking a good kicker?
Please tell me. Please.
Pick a prodigious offense.
Prodigious offense.
Period.
Got it. Prodigious offense.
Period.
Sold. Winner.
Because what's the biggest thing with kickers?
Right.
Opportunities. Chances.
That's right. Kickers.
Go shave your head.
Kickers. Almighty. When are we gonna learn?
The torment, and he's so upset. He's packing up his shit now. He's just like, that's it. I'm at it.
It's just,
I hate kickers.
Anybody with a brain in fantasy knows that it's just a waste. Defense is another brilliant one. Pick a defense. Boy, who's on bye week 12? I got to get another defense.
We do live drafts with the Motley Crue, all right. And for those of us who know that he hates kickers, every time he comes up, we're like, kicker, pick a kicker. Kicker. Kick.
Please, in your league,
kicker.
Please somebody take 2 defenses. In any league that I'm in. Please, because your defense is on a bye in week 10. Please, take another defense.
Streaming defenses? What do you mean? I'm going to pick 3.
Oh, I got the best 2 defenses this year. Shut up.
We had a couple of teams that had 3 defenses.
Oh my
you look at their bench and they're like, 2 defenses.
Promise they will not win the league. Okay.
No, of course not.
They
were like 4-10.
They will not win the league.
All right. So are you done? Are you done, bitch? I give you a chance to bitch about
Oh,
kickers.
I have to go because I have to go home and study my kicker sheet.
No aliens. Nothing. We're all right. We haven't been invaded yet.
I mean, they're coming.
They're coming.
What the hell is that thing flying out there now? Looks like a cigar coming our way at 1 billion miles an hour. You see that one?
Let it come.
Oh, gosh.
Let it come. The way things are going, artificial intelligence, robots, aliens.
Dr. Stephen Greer, go read his stuff. Oh, man.
I'm ready for it, whatever it is. All right, so on behalf of myself and this other paranoid nut over here, I'm not paranoid, I'm disgusted.
Garrett Hartley. Go
On behalf of Garrett Hartley, I can't.
That was 9 years ago.
Stop it. Oh my God, I still hate him. Oh, anyway. Okay, I'm Big Daddy Gonzo. We'll see you guys next week, next Sunday, 11 o'clock, right?
Right.
Right, yeah, uh-huh. I can't wait to get the phone call on Friday. Oh yeah, we're gonna go to Napa Valley.
We're in Kansas.
Just out of nowhere. Just I gotta go. Okay, there's a volleyball tournament in Indiana. I gotta go.
Indiana. Wow.
Indiana, yeah. Go play with your AI
All right.
and get smarter.
ChatGPT.
We need him to get smarter. We so really do. All right. Well, we will see you guys. Wow, we're not even going to do a second break. I have to go all the way to the end. Okay. Well, see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.